Hello, my friends, Gary Goers and fellow poets. Welcome back to Conversing with Poets. Hello, everybody. Good to see you here. Yes, we got an interesting evening tonight talking about laureateships, funnily enough. I know we have done a stream about laureates and laureateships before, but there's some great news coming out of Australia. So I thought we'd do another one. But first, let's say hello to everyone. Hello, I am Gurf. Hello, Chris. Hello, Danny. Delgal, Dimitri, Jeff. Hello, hello, Nikki. Hello. Class, hello. How you doing? Mark, hello. I think that's everyone. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone out. You guys have already hit that like button. You've smashed that like button and got us to 7. But there are 10 people watching this, so there's a few people that haven't just yet. So if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. And hello, how was everybody's week? I saw something coming in the chat. To those in the USA, hope you've all been safe with terrible storms and flooding. That's not good. I hope everybody is safe. Sending all my love and thoughts to you guys. I didn't know that you guys were having crazy weather, um, but yeah, stay safe if you're in a affected area. Please stay safe. And there was something else. Mark said that daylight savings has started here, so I can't stay through all. Have to drop midway through to leave for work. That's totally fine. Thank you so much for being here, Mark. We appreciate it. Danny and Mitch says, hello, Adam, and all the amazing Gary Goers that are joining this lovely September evening here in the UK. Wow, that's a rather pleasant comment. Thank you so much, Danny. I hope you are all well and had an amazing week. My week could have been better. That's not good. I'm sorry that you've not had a great week, but hopefully spending your Sunday evening with cool poets like us will make up for it. Hello, all. I may have to jump out. Our son Ryan is trapped in the horrible hurricane that hit Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Ah, Delgel was just talking about bad weather over there, Tanya. Please stay safe. Please send my best to Ryan. Make sure you stay safe, but you do whatever you got to do, of course. Oh no, Danny and Mitch, but the week will end on a high now. It sure will. It sure will. We got lots to talk about. Sorry you haven't had a great week. Here's hoping the next one is kinder. Absolutely, absolutely. Sorry you are dealing with that, Tanya. That's scary. Yeah, that's crazy. I actually kind of got caught up in a mini tornado here this week myself. The UK never gets tornadoes, but we had a small one rip through. Well, it kind of did actually. Rip through the town next to me, and I was driving, and a tree came down right in front of me. It was kind of crazy. But be safe out there. Yeah, absolutely. Good Lord, my prayers to you all battling these awful moments. Yeah, it's been really, really crazy. Really, really crazy weather. So sorry, everyone. I've put the wrong emoji. Didn't see they were laughing ones until after I sent the message. That's okay. That's okay. I can see why you'd get confused. It is a laughing one with tears, so I guess maybe you thought it was a crying one. I'm not sure. Thank you. It's terribly frightening. Oh no, Adam. Mine was probably nothing compared to what Ryan's in right now, so don't worry about it. We'd never get tornadoes. It was the smallest little thing, but it was crazy. Um, I do have two pieces of good news. One of them being in the title of the stream, which is that Australia is getting their own poet laureate, which is awesome. And also we have a new channel member, Diane Houston. So thank you so much, Diane. If you're watching this on playback or if you jump in, I'll say it again. But thank you so much for becoming a loyal supporter. It makes a huge difference, and I really, really appreciate your support. So thank you so much. Look at that sub count. Look at that sub count, guys. 6,809. 6,809. We're not going to hit 10,000 by the end of the year, but we damn well are gonna make that 7,000. I hope so anyway. I will be very red-faced if we don't, but I can't see us not hitting 7,000 by the end of the year. So thank you so much, everyone that has subscribed and everyone that's watching and liking the videos. I really appreciate you guys. I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel. So let's have a sip. Let's have a sip of coffee real quick. 7 8 sent out. Well, 7 out of 10 ain't bad. It's very true. This is very, very true. Uh, hope all is safe and well in the affected areas in America. Sending all my hope and prayers. I need to, yeah, wasn't aware that you guys were having um, crazy weather, but I'll have to turn on the news and look everything up. Hi, Dazzle in the Dark. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the stream, hello, Delgal, with her new Gary Goyle members emoji. This is the one that I have been referring to as the Elton John emoji. It's a shame they're so small you can barely see them, but for some reason it just reminds me of Elton John with all the colours and stuff. That means you've been a member now for 3 years. That's crazy. Thank you so much, Delgal. Enjoy Elton John Gary Goyle. Stay hydrated, everyone. Yes, yes, stay hydrated. It's very rainy and uh, wet here, but somewhere in the world it's probably very hot. And anyway, it's just good practice to be hydrated, to stay hydrated. Delgal, round of applause for Delgal. Thank you, I am Gaff. Yeah, good job, Delgal. With the Elton John with the Elton John, how times fly. Yeah, it's crazy. I only noticed it in the countdown today, so good job. Thank you so much. So we got a new member, and we got I won't say old member. We got a experienced member. For instance, in my area, it's insanely hot. It is, Dimitri. Whereabouts in the world are you, Dimitri? Whereabouts in the world are you? Paws and Wings came in the mail yesterday. Nice. I hope you enjoy it, Jeff. I hope you like it. I hope um that there's something in there for you. South of Europe. Okay, okay. Seasoned member. Seasoned member. Yeah, that's it. South of Europe. Okay, so yeah, it's probably very hot down there. What am I doing? I'm trying to get up the articles. So we have 3 articles to get through today. They're all on they're all on laureate ships and laureates. And the first 2 are based on the fact that Australia have announced that they're going to have their own national poet laureate, which is great. So this one is from The Conversation, theconversation.com. I'll quickly read some of it. I won't read all of it because I'm not sure what, honestly, I'm not sure what the copyright laws are reading full news articles. I don't know. Poetry has often been a matter of nation building, including in Australia. Well, there you go. There's the importance. Thank you, I am Gaff. There's the importance of poetry right off the bat. It's a matter of nation building. I discovered this poem when I first visited. There is a poem here. Do you know what? I know that Yvonne is from Australia, so I'm gonna read this poem. So, who hasn't learnt by heart at school some verses from My Country, 1908, by Dorothea Mackellar? Quote, poem. I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of ragged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. I love her far horizons, I love her jewel sea, her beauty and her terror, the wide brown land for me. I discovered this poem when I first visited Canberra many years before becoming an Australian citizen, when I saw its words sculpted on a hill next to the National Arboretum. Arboretum. At the launch of Revive, Australia's new cultural policy, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced the establishment of a poet laureate for Australia. Congratulations, Australia! Round of applause. Congrats, Australia! You're getting a poet laureate. The statement was welcomed by the audience with cheer and applause. I think we can get some cheer and applause in the chat right now, can't we, guys? Celebrating a new poet laureate in the world. Congrats. Sarah Holland Batt read a poem about her late father called The Gift. Quote, wonderful to have poetry, books and stories as a central part of the National Cultural Policy launch, end quote, tweeted the Australian Publishers Association. The enduring links between the arts and national identity could not have been stronger. The Prime Minister said it is through the arts that we build our identity as a nation and as a people, end quote. A new literary funding body, Writers Australia, will oversee the selection of the Poet Laureate. But some questions remain. Will Australia make a brave choice? And even before this, what is a Poet Laureate in the first place? So before I start continuing with that article, yes, congratulations to the whole of Australia. Round of applause. Nice job, guys. So that last bit, this is exactly what we spoke about in a stream before, but that's okay. We can do it again. What is a poet laureate in the first place? What do you guys think a poet laureate should be in your eyes? I know we had this exact conversation already, but let's refresh ourselves. Ooh, excuse me. It does go on to give the concept of a poet laureate, but I'm just rather than the whole stream me just reading out, I'm interested to see what you guys think. What do you guys think a poet laureate is? Oh, I haven't read this yet. I haven't read this part yet. And I actually don't know the full history behind a laureate, but I'm seeing the name Petrarch here, and I'm wondering if that's to do with a Petrarchan sonnet. Some kind of award? I mean, a poet laureate is an award for a person's poem. No, it's not quite an award. I guess some might say it's somewhat of an award, I guess, but it's not quite like a physical award that you get given for a poem or anything like that. And an ambassador between the poetry community and the people. Yeah, I noticed that too, Adam. Oh, you did? Yeah. I just seen Petrarch here. So, someone with a proven body of work who's committed to the mainstreaming of poetry and the education of it, but also unafraid to challenge the status quo. Community giving back, good stuff. Yeah, cool. All right, let's see what the official word is in this article. The concept of a poet laureate. On April 8th, 1341, geez, poet Francesco Petrarca from the Tuscan town of Arezzo, more widely known as Petrarch, 1304 to 1374, attended an official ceremony that was inspired by revived classical traditions. La da 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 da. A crown of laurels was placed upon his head as an eternal consecration of his poetry. And that's where laureate comes from, I guess. Since then, Petrarch has also been known as Il Poeta Laureato, the poet laureate. Portraits of Petrarch depict him wearing his crown of laurel leaves. The tradition of the poet laureate has continued through the centuries all around the world, where the election of a poet laureate has become a national matter. In the United Kingdom, the position was recognized as a royal office in 1668 when John Dryden became England's first official laureate, currently held by Simon Armitage, still comes from the monarch on the advice of the Prime Minister. Okay. Okay. So where's the actual the position? Okay. Historian Anne-Marie Thiesse has noted that in France, writers are given the power to make or break the national consciousness. Keeper of our language, our codes, our essence as people, no pressure. But nationalistic conceptions of literature create other issues. The poet laureate embodies the voice of an entire nation. The poet can thus become a highly political and politicized figure. Historically, the formation of national laureates has meant many voices have been excluded. Okay, but you're not answering the question, what is a laureate? Same goes for poets writing in minority languages. Current poet laureate of New Zealand. Here's one for Mark. The current poet laureate of New Zealand is Chris Say, for example, has sought to address the question of how to negotiate matters of identity alongside the responsibilities of his official position. Australia's new arts policy, which includes a commitment to the full adoption of the Uluru Statement from the Heart, takes as its fundamental pillar the principle of First Nations First, a recognition of the fact the arts and stories of the oldest continuing living culture in the world are the foundation of who we are as people and a country. With the appointment of its very first poet laureate, Australia has an unmissable opportunity. We can only hope that, in keeping with the spirit of Revive, the decision will reflect its call for diversity and honour this foundational pillar. So that's the first one. Let me just catch up on the chat. Gosh, I went pretty much all the way through that article. Poets are the unrecognized legislatures of the world. Shelley. Nice. Wow. I don't disagree. A 13th century notary, Giacomo da Latini is thought to have invented the sonnet, but popularized by 14th century scholar Francesco Petrarca. Indeed, and some of you guys know I'm in Surrey, and the last Earl of Surrey, as well as a poet named Thomas Wyatt, they both brought the Petrarcan sonnet over to the UK. Henry Howard or Howard Henry, I can never remember which way round it is. Yeah, those two brought the Petrarcan sonnet to the UK, developed it, and then Shakespeare, of course, made the sonnet very, very popular. I never knew that a poem could connect with politics in a way. Oh yes, Dimitri, absolutely. You get lots of political poems. Absolutely. Poetry has been a throughout history has been a way to uh, make voices heard. So I'm inclined to believe the Petrarcan sonnet comes from Francesco Petrarca. Yes, I believe it is. I was reading up on Wyatt earlier. He's believed to be the first English writer of the sonnet. Yes, yep. The Shelley quote was in response to what role do laureates play? Yes, I got you, Jeff. No worries, I got you. All right, let's move on to the next article. What is Australia looking for in its inaugural poet? This is by Sydney, the University of Sydney, actually. What is Australia looking for in its inaugural poet laureate? Literary and popular poetry don't always intersect. Peter Kirkpatrick in the discipline of English and writing asks what an Australian poet laureate will be expected to do or achieve ahead of the position's official appointment in 2025. Half of the book of poems I'm going to put out are political poems. Yeah, as I say, poetry has always been a way to get voices heard. Shakespeare saw Wyatt and said, "Hold my beer." The inaugural Australian Poet Laureate will be appointed in 2025 as part of the federal Labor government's new National Culture Policy, Revive. The intention to create the official position was announced with some fanfare at the beginning of 2023. Oh, 2023, we're a bit behind. My bad. But there is still no clear indication of how a suitable candidate will be selected, what criteria will be used, and the precise nature of the role. We still do not know what exactly an Australian Poet Laureate will be expected to do or to achieve. Let me just scan this real quick. Valentina Gassetti called it an unmissable opportunity and hoped it would reflect the call for diversity. But what about the diversity of poetry itself? I mean, those genres that call themselves poetry or might deemed poetry adjacent but pass under the radar of institutions such as the Academy, the publishing industry, and the literary awards system. Interesting point. Oh, that's interesting. I do need to read more on Anne Boleyn. I swear he sought Wyatt's love of Anne Boleyn and wrote Romeo and Juliet. Oh, interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear that exhaust going around. That's an interesting point. How would a poet laureate speak to the spoken word, slam, or hip hop communities, or to bush poets, or to songwriters? Good bad poetry. The dominant intellectual model for poetry in the West remains the romantic modernist version that emphasizes its wow factor. Interesting. How do you guys feel about this? Its capacity to transform or a strange language in exciting, aesthetically challenging ways, often at the level of the individual image. In a study, quote by Sarah Holland Batt, poems are full of surprises. Each line is a little detonation of language, I like that, and imagery. Each stanza a series of swift steps into the unknown, end quote. And I'm just trying to pick out the good stuff. But not all poetry is about aesthetic surprise. A century and more ago, when poetry was genuinely popular. What does that mean? When poetry was genuinely popular, how can you be ingenuinely popular? Someone correct me here. I don't know how you can. How? What does that mean? When poetry was genuinely popular? Just in addition, we all know that Shakespeare didn't write the original Romeo and Juliet, right? Yes, it was technically an adaptation. The story was first written by an Italian writer, and then Shakespeare just rewrote it, essentially. Yep. He also made it more interesting, which is why everyone remembers the story from him. Yep, you're absolutely right. Um, when poetry was genuinely popular, I don't get that. It often told stories. Uh, okay, poems like Henry Wadsworth, diddly boop, diddly diddly doop. Or I thought we was going to have a debate whether their laureate was going to be like a traditionalist or a more uh, a modern sort of social media poet, if you know what I mean. Microist, is that a saying? Microist, minimalist, I guess, a minimalist poet. Microist. Why do you guys watch me? By genuinely popular, I'd say they mean making sales more than other print media. Okay, fair enough. In the days before the train station books and penny novels became a thing, maybe they mean it was more a mainstream thing. Yeah. So then it's just mainstream thing. Then it's just yeah, I don't know. Then I would say it's well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just say then it's not popular. Then I don't know. I don't know. My brain's not functioning. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Good point, Mark. Um, yeah, just genuinely popular as opposed to just popular. I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe I'm going off on something that doesn't need to be doesn't need to be considered. Where did I get to? We've got some nice names here. Rudyard Kipling, George Orwell. A good poem is a graceful monument to the obvious. It records in memorable form some emotion which very nearly every human being can share. Okay, so okay, some statistics. Generating an audience. Okay, so I see Rupi's name here. Okay, so now we're getting to it. Lana Del Rey. What? Lana Del Rey. Holy shit, hang on. Oops, sorry for my language, guys. Just some of the figures I'm reading here. Are these like revenue? Book sale revenue? Okay. Today's spoken word poets are overwhelmingly young. Many have links to popular music, hip hop, stand up comedy, and theatre. The Bankstown Poetry Slam, for example, has evolved its own spirited and diverse community, its own local celebrities. It offers its own poetry workshops in which poets can refine their craft as performers and is part of an alternative award system. The emphasis is on being authentic. The strong emotional engagement that performers invite from their audience make it much more exciting than the average page-based poetry. Okay, here's some interesting numbers. Here's some interesting numbers. Generating an audience. Consider Nielsen book data figures for the top 10 best-selling titles under the category poetry text and poetry anthologies for the period 2019 to 2023. The top three are Rupee, Homebody sold 51,700 copies, and it says value. I'm guessing this is the revenue that it generated. 1,045,000. I guess that's in dollars. Yeah, it's in dollars. $1,045,000. Rupi Kaur, The Sun in Her Flowers, 2017, sold 46,000 copies, generating 1,035,000. Milk and Honey, 2015, sold 44,100 copies with a revenue of $964,000. Then you have Paul Kelly, Love is Strong as Death, sold 20,000 copies, generating $705,000, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. Interestingly, Violet Bent Backwards Over the Bar. That's a different book. Not Bath, Grass. That's a different book. Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass sold 17,900 copies with a revenue of $471,000. Rupi Kaur hardback copy of Homebody is down there as well. Homer, all of these outsold Homer the Odyssey. I think I bought the Odyssey actually recently in the last 3 years. Okay. These figures highlight the importance of the internet in generating an audience for poetry. 5 of the top 10 best-selling books are by Instagram poets, an astonishing 4 of them by Rupi Kaur, and 1 by Australian Courtney Pepinell. Insta poetry speaks in many of the same ways slam does, in the language of self-help and positive affirmation. All right. So I'm going on a little bit here. We're already half an hour into the stream. Let's try and get to. All right, so let's get to the conclusion. It is unclear how a poet laureate appointed on the basis of their standing within the literary community might elevate the status of poetry that is already popular and which survives quite happily outside of it. Will the appointee merely campaign for more readings or for the posting of poems in public spaces or on social media? These are old ideas. Might they advocate, as British poet laureate Simon Armitage did, for a poetry centre at a university somewhere, perhaps the same one that employs them? Or would they be more usefully involved in bringing about a national discussion about the many different ways in which poetry is now practiced and understood, and develop better channels of communication between them? It's interesting. So basically, all of that to say, will they go down the traditional sort of institutionalized sort of academic, scholarly type poet, or will they go for a fresh, young, modern poet? Is basically what that was trying to say. So that was actually an interesting article. I was very conscious and aware that I'm on stream and I don't want to just read at you, which I probably did anyway. So I skipped a lot of that article, but it's quite an interesting read. So I think I Am Girth has already put it in the chat, but maybe I Am Girth, if you don't mind, just link that article one more time for anyone that might want to go away and read it a little bit later. I hope the Australian Poet Laureate champions Indigenous poetry. I think that is definitely the road, from what I've read, that's definitely the road they're going down or hope to go down. Um, Even the minister, I'm sure, maybe I read it out, maybe I didn't, but I'm sure that the minister said that's the road they want to go down. Here's the article again, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I am Garth. I don't know why all of a sudden the battery on this laptop is draining. I'm on half battery already, so remind me to plug it in. Remind me to plug it in during the break. But yeah, so traditionally, and there is a third article, but I might read that in the second half, or I might read it in 10 minutes or so, just so the whole stream isn't just me reading at you. Traditionally, poet laureates don't actually have like a set task lists. Um, they can write as much or as little as they want. They can, and that it's really up to the laureate. Personally, I think if you're a laureate, this is at least this is what I'm aiming to do anyway. If you're a laureate, I don't think it should just be about writing poems. I think it should be like bringing poetry to the community, which is definitely something I'm trying to do and get the roots in the ground. In fact, if anything, I'm not doing as much writing as I want to or I hope to be. But hopefully in 2025 I will. I need to get some more sort of management involved that can kind of do the things that I'm doing at the moment in terms of like setting things up, so that I can do a bit more writing. But yeah, I think it's important to be bringing poetry to people that wouldn't necessarily engage with poetry. The former American Youth Poet Laureate does a lot of spoken word performances as well as written poetry. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I like where we are in this regard. Nice, nice. I'm not too aware of the who is this that we're talking about? The former American Youth Poet Laureate. I'm not sure who that is, but that's cool. Yeah, yeah, it's difficult. I think laureates should do more than just writing. I think they should get out and engage with communities. Oh yeah, hi, a poet. I forgot. Yeah, hi, a poet. Thank you for joining us. Um, Amanda Gorman. Oh yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. I didn't know she was youth poet laureate. I thought she was just a poet laureate. But yeah, of course, I know Amanda Gorman for sure. I think Amanda Gorman is a good example of a laureate actually. I'm looking at Adam's channel right now and I'm seeing so many celebs write poetry. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know why I'm so shocked about this. It makes sense. Yes, yeah. Hey, I'm here too. Hi, Jack. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, my head was in my phone for so long, I probably missed anyone that popped in. But great. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about laureates because Australia, apparently they announced it last year, but I missed it. Australia are getting their first national poet laureate next year in 2025. So we're kind of celebrating that. We're talking about the role of a laureate and stuff like that. So yeah, personally, I think laureates should be out and just raising poetry. I mean, if you're a national laureate, so let's take Simon Armitage, for example. I guess when you're doing it for 10 years, you've got to pace yourself really, otherwise you're going to burn out. If you're a city laureate, um, you've only got 1 year, so I guess you've got to do as much as you can in a short space of time. And then we're doing something completely new. We're doing as far as I'm aware, anyway, at least in the UK, we're doing county laureateships, which is going to be a 3 year thing, which just encompasses the whole county, which to me just makes sense. It just makes sense to do that. Um, but I guess not, maybe not. Anyway, it makes sense to me. To me, it's going really, really well. So yeah, shall we read the article? Shall we read the article with Simon Armitage? Oh, cool! Someone just bought an open mic slot. Nice. What will the role of poet laureate look like in Australia? UK poet laureate Simon Armitage has some answers. Some people sail through their appointment as poet laureate with little to write about. Not so Simon Armitage, whose first 5 years as UK poet laureate has been remarkably busy. The 61-year-old poet has so far published 25 official poems covering such nation-defining events as a pandemic, platinum jubilee, 2 royal deaths, and a coronation. In 2025, Australia is set to appoint the nation's first laureate after the Albanese government, or Albanese, sorry, government announced a $19.3 million plan to establish a new body, Writers Australia, to oversee the appointment. Jeez, nearly 20 million? That can't be just for the laureateship. Surely that's got to be for a whole creative endeavor. Details of the role's selection criteria and formal duties are sketchy. That's what we're discussing this evening. Hi, Jack. Hi, poet. Good to have you back. It absolutely is. And thank you for the link, I am Girth. What is a poet laureate? In the UK, the laureate is an honorary position appointed by the monarch under advice from the Prime Minister. It's an office with a long history. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. Lord Alfred Lord Tennyson, who held the position for 42 years during the reign of Queen Victoria. That must be a lot of pressure for a first laureate. Yeah. Since 99, the appointment has been limited to 10 years. Armitage was preceded by a wonderful poet, Carol Ann Duffy. So far, the only female poet laureate. One advantage of the position is the opportunity to reach a wide audience who wouldn't otherwise read poetry. Boom. Good point. Well done. You get a chance to read those poems on national network radio, publish them in newspapers rather than literary magazines. Despite the high-profile role, paid with a barrel of sherry known as a butt of sack, interesting, and a £5,750 annual stipend. Comes with no formal duties. It's currently bestowed about 6k a year in the UK, so I assume that's more than just the laureate. Huh? It's currently bestowed about 6 grand a year in the UK, so I assume that's more. Oh, is that the 20 mil? Are we talking about the 20 mil? There's a misunderstanding that you are a kind of court poet who will write to each royal event. While there is no obligation to produce poetry, Armitage says there is a sense of anticipation among the public for the laureate to respond to events. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and then it just goes through Armitage's history, I guess. Just talks about Armitage, active primitive, who has described his poetry as no brow, arrived in literature as an outsider. It's just Armitage's his background, I guess. What's this last bit? And now that young man has become the official poet of the UK, and his work has appeared on the UK school syllabus. What's this? Okay, there's a lot. Oh, I think it's still talking about his background. Every year in the UK, 400,000 16-year-olds get their sweaty mitts on my poems, and that's an incredible privilege. Okay. It just talks about Simon Armitage as the UK Poet Laureate, I think. The 19 million, I mean. Okay, got you, yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. Good job, Australia, for getting a national poet laureate. Good job for sinking 19, not sinking. Is that the wrong word? Good job for investing 19 million into I don't think it's just for the laureate. I think it's setting up a whole sort of organization around that. It said something like Writers Association, I think, of Australia or something like that. But good job. Um, yeah, and I just hope that everything goes well for you guys and everything is what you want it to be. I also changed my settings before going live, so I'm hoping that I'm a little bit louder for you guys, but not too loud. I'll see when I watch the playback. So, with all that being said, how is everyone? What are we going to talk about for the next hour and a half? I don't know. Sound is great, Adam. Okay, cool. I played around with the settings a little bit because um I noticed that yes, ads are possible in live vids. Are they overbearing again? I do have interesting. I do have like issues with YouTube every now and then. A little while ago, a few weeks ago, they were like, here's an ad, here's an ad, here's an ad. Like literally like that. I'm not exaggerating. Here's an ad. Ads are about to run. Like 2 minutes later, ads are about to run. 2 minutes later, ads are about to run. Still here, just listening, brain dead. That's okay, Tanya. That's okay. I'm glad that you're here with us. Yeah, you've had ads for the past few streams. Yes, yeah. I got mine right after the intro. Oh, you did? Oh no. They didn't time that very well. If anybody has any ideas on what they want to discuss, if anyone has any questions, like by all means, throw stuff at me so that we've got something to talk about for the next. Well, we still got 20 minutes before the break, and then we got an hour after the break. So, um, yeah. Have we got any Poco chat mowers here? I think I don't know if Mark is still with us. Mark might have stepped out. But tomorrow is the last day of Poco Chat Mo. No more prompts after tomorrow. Isn't the ads a good thing? Don't they earn you some money? Yeah, for me, they're a great thing. For me, they're good because obviously I make a little bit of dollar. Well, I make about 10 cents per ad. Not even that, I don't think, 2 cents per ad. But they are annoying. YouTube have really like as a viewer, as someone who watches videos, poetry ads have gone a bit wild. How was poetry taught to you guys in school? Do you think it was good or bad? It was definitely bad. It was definitely bad in my experience, but I don't blame the teacher. It's just there's many different reasons why it might have been bad. She is an English teacher, but might prefer teaching fiction or non-fiction for that matter, and not poetry. Also, it's just the way the government tells the teachers what to teach. And if you're not massively passionate about it, it's difficult. So it was very, very bad. What I'm trying to work on with my laureateship, we're about to go into schools and do that sort of side of things. For me, it's about teaching the joys of expressing through poetry and making poetry fun. And it can be fun. We all know it can be fun. That's why we're here watching a live stream about poetry every week. I think once you've got people interested in poetry, once people are excited by it, once people can see that it can be fun and it is doable, that's when you start to teach the technique, and that's when you start doing theory. Uh, but I don't think if you're trying to get young minds interested in poetry, and the first thing you teach them is, uh, I don't know, like rhymes. I like rhyme schemes, but not even rhyme schemes because they can be fun. But analysis was the first thing that a teacher tried to teach me about poetry, and trying to figure out why a poet wrote something instead of actually getting you invested and hooked on the joys of writing it. It was all sort of theory, theory, theory. Why is this line longer than the other line? It's like, I don't know, I don't care either. It's not the way you kind of grab minds, at that point. It is very ironic that I hated poetry in school, and I used to truant and bunk off, and now here I am. It is very ironic. So that's my mission for the next 2.5 years. I can't believe it's gone down to 2.5 years already. Writing a poem as we speak, or at least outlining it. Nice, Mark. Good job. Same here. I'm listening to have someone over at the moment. No worries, class. All good, all good. Oh, Dimitri says, I mean, because of school, I'm here today. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you are here, Dimitri. You got a great energy. I'm glad that you found us, and I'm glad that school didn't put you off. So, uh, good job on your school. Like literally, applause to your school for not putting you off. Not good. They teach you as if you're already expected to understand it. Yeah, this is it. This is it. My first lesson, and pretty much the only lesson that I went to, was what I just described. Analyzing a poem and asking questions like why is this line so long and why is this line so short and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, what? Like just get me into the joys of poetry first before kind of like and I think that's the case with many people. So many people I've met have felt intimidated by poetry, and that's such a shame. I was intimidated by poetry first starting out. I missed a message from Jack. Oh, I did? I'm sorry, Jack. How many emotions should a poem discuss? Oh gosh. Uh, how many emotions should a poem discuss? I guess it depends on the length of the poem. If you're writing an epic poem, you know, uh, a 200-page poem, just for example, then I suppose you can discuss a great many emotions. But I wouldn't try and stuff every single emotion into one poem personally. I think a poem is probably more powerful if you spend a whole poem really getting into the nitty-gritty of one emotion, really diving in and discovering what that emotion means and why you're feeling that emotion. Um, rather than I don't know. It can be done. Maybe it can be done. I would say if you're one, and I'm not saying you are, but just in general, if you're sitting here and going, maybe I'm trying to get too much into this poem, it's probably a good indicator that maybe you are trying to get too much into one poem. I would say a poem is more interesting if you spend more time sitting with one emotion and really sort of discovering it and exploring it than if you tried to throw loads of different things into one poem and you don't really get into anything because there's so much trying to be squeezed into one. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just generalizing, if that makes sense. I'm really glad to see that, Dimitri, because I've just scrolled past it again. I mean, because of school, I'm here today. I'm genuinely really glad to see that. That's great. I'm glad that your school has done a good job. Jeff says a list poem could have a different emotion for each line. I think it's dependent on the poem. Just try not to mix metaphors too much. Well, when I worked in a school, they always had a poetry week in the year. Yeah, I remember having. I never had a poetry week in school other than the GCSE. When the GCSE module came round, which is the end of year sort of qualification you get for those outside of the UK. But in primary school and stuff, I don't think we ever had a poetry week. We had like a painting week or a pottery. Ooh. Oh my God, there's a big spider in here, guys. I'm not going to put it on camera because I know some people have a real fear of spiders. I'm sorry, I probably did just peek on the microphone. That probably went really loud. Oh, I actually don't like spiders. Not big mother mofos like that. Okay, I need some tissue and I need to get out. How long until the break? Okay. No, he's coming closer to me. I'm gonna have to get him out. All right, we're gonna take a 5 minute break while I. Oh fuck no! Ah shit! In your hat. Okay, I guess I am scared of spiders. Okay, let's take a quick 5 minute break. I need to get this. I need to get this guy out. So 5 minutes. I'm pleased to report I managed to get it out. So now I'm gonna go and catch my breath, make a coffee. So let's take an actual 5 minute break. But don't worry, I got it out. We're all good. I don't know. Hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, we're all good. Okay, guys, that was intense. That was intense. It did that thing where, like, when I first went to sort of like catch it, it sort of scuttered, and I was like, ah, I kind of went a bit, when something that gives you the heebie-jeebies, and you know how fast they move, you go, oh, like that. Um, but I managed to get it out nice, so hopefully it can go and find some warmth somewhere else. Just not. Oh, I got all the goosebumps now. Right. Sorry about that. Bit of a chaotic stream. My bad. Goodness me. Right. I'm gonna have to try and catch up on the chat. Where did we end up? Gosh, I don't even know where we. As soon as your face dropped, I knew what you was looking at. Yeah, I just saw it. I was like, oh, and it wasn't even. I mean, to people in Australia and New Zealand and probably even in America, you'd laugh at me if you saw it. But here in the UK, I would consider that pretty big. I would have put it on camera, but I know people don't like they genuinely have a fear of spiders, so that wouldn't have been good. No, we will miss one of the greatest anime battles. Your reaction to the spider genuinely amuses me. Adam versus spider. The spider won't hurt you, Adam. Please don't kill it unless It's poisonous, I guess. No, I would never. I would never. I would never. I didn't kill it. I managed to. I have some blue roll, and I managed to like get it onto the blue roll. Oh, my heart just sank then. It's just a bit of fluff. I thought another spider fell from the blue roll. Yeah, I would never. Adam is never seen or heard from again. Poetry in high school was like 6 weeks long per year. Per year. Wow, no, we never had that. We probably had about a 4 week module. Poor Adam. Don't worry, he's a lover. Absolutely. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. My coworker got bit by a spider the other day and it swelled and then popped. He almost lost the finger. Jesus. Okay. The heebie-jeebies. Yeah, I got the heebie-jeebies. He going to be like Spider-Man when he comes back? I wish. I wish. I still got a bit of a cough, by the way, guys, so I apologize that, especially now that I've turned the settings up, that might be a bit off-putting, my bad. For some reason, I really struggle. Whenever I get ill, I get a flu, and then I get a cough, and it takes me ages to shift the cough. For some reason, my body just can't get rid of a cough. But yeah, so that's been exciting. We got rid of the spider. That'll be interesting to watch back to the point where I saw it. If Danny says the moment my face changed, you knew what I was looking at. Charge your battery. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, I am Gav. This is why you're mod. Because I can't look after myself. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. Okay, there we go. We're charging. So what do you guys want to talk about for the next hour? That's the question. Nikki gets credit for that? Oh, well, thank you, Nikki. I missed it. Thank you, Nikki. You can't say that. Did it seem to anyone else that the spider was just off screen and Adam has has Adam the spider's right here, guys. I have to do what it says. You guys are funny. I love you guys. Yeah, actually, my hands are tied. I came out. I came out the loser of that fight. No worries. To be fair, you missed all my comments, so I think I got hidden. No, I'm in top chat again. Let me move over to live chat. From now on, whenever I go live, you guys need to be like live chat, not top chat, just so I switch over. Sorry, guys, if I've missed anybody else's. Also, I was battling a spider. So, I was in the fight of my life, so I apologize. The second half is obviously the victor's interview. Yeah, unless, as I say, my hands are bound. Actually, I came out. I'm now captive. I am now in the spider's lair. This is not the writing shed anymore. This is the spider's lair. YouTube has beef with you now, Nikki. Yeah. Oh, hey, we're missing Nightbot. I forgot to get Nightbot out. What's the difference between live chat and top chat? There's a good question. It's a very good question, but for some reason, YouTube puts top chat as the default, and I'm not sure what the difference really is. I don't know what you have to do to end up in top chat, but basically, for some reason, top chat just filters out some comments. I don't know why. I guess if it's a really busy stream where the chat is just like this, I guess top chat filters some of that out. I'm not sure. I'm out the door now. Later all, live poetically. I love that. Yes, Mark, have a good day at work. All the best. And thank you for stopping by. I know it's early for you. It's Nightbot pulling strings again, methinks. It could be. Maybe Nightbot has taken over YouTube. Nightbot is the new YouTube CEO. That's what it is. I feel a bit uncomfortable in here now. I figured the shed is the spider's home, and we'll be back later this evening. No doubt. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. I let it out, it's gone for some food, and it'll be back. It'll be back. I mean, I'm always finding webs here. There are tons of webs in here, naturally. But I've never seen one just stare me in the face like that. He'll be ready for round two. One day, it'll happen. If we do these streams enough, one day a spider inevitably will just kind of like the day it crawls across my face is the day that I retire from YouTube. It could be a she and she gone back to her nest waiting for revenge. This is very true. She's gone to hatch a million she's gone to hatch a million offspring and send her army of children after me. Anyone in here read Charlotte's Web? I haven't read it, but I do know of it. Yeah, the spider is slowly writing something with its web. Interesting. Now, if I had a poem written for me in web, that would be nice. I mean, the amount of poetry conversations she has overheard in here, I would imagine she's probably pretty good at poetry. Honestly, didn't see you as a scared of spiders man, Adam. You know what? I used to be really scared of them to the point I couldn't go near them, but it's all psychological. In the end, I said, well, if I end up living alone and dying alone, I need to be able to deal with this. And on the flip side, if I end up, settling down with someone who doesn't like spiders as the man, I'm going to have to be the stereotype and deal with it. So psychologically, I sort of got myself out of staying away from them. So they freak me out. They give me the heebie-jeebies, but I can deal with them like I just did. Even if it is like that, I can deal with them. What I really can't deal with, as members would have seen, on this week's members video, what I really can't deal with are mosquitoes. And I was doing this week's members live stream going for a walk, and I just kept coming across like big clouds of mosquitoes. It was scary, and I ran away. I literally was like, okay, this stream isn't happening. I'm running away. And I literally ran away. As I am Girth and Delgal could probably tell you. It was a fun stream though. That is my worst nightmare, Delgal. Yeah, the day I'm sitting here talking to you and I feel a little tickle and the spider goes across my face, then you will see a scared Adam. Then I will literally like freak the hell out. I haven't read Charlotte's Web since grade school. I love that book. I haven't read it, so I can't comment. I know there's a movie, and I haven't seen the movie, unfortunately. Beautiful book, Charlotte's Web. Oh, it is? Oh, yeah, Mitch deals with them. I order the eviction notice, and Mitch serves it. Fair enough, fair enough. It was funny for us. I'm glad it was entertaining for you. That's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. I woke up once to a spider tapping on my nose. No way. No way. They say we eat so many spiders in our sleep. And there have been times, I don't know if anyone else, there have been times where I've woken up and felt like a little tickle in my throat. And I, of course, automatically being the dramatic mofo that I am, I automatically go to the, thought that a spider is laying its eggs in my throat. It probably is just a dry throat, but, that's not as interesting. Spiders are good. They kill more annoying bugs like moths. Yes, circle of life. Everything has a purpose, right? In fact, half of me was literally considering whether I would let it stay in the shed because of the purpose that they serve. And they could catch mosquitoes for me. Out of the two evils, I would rather keep the spider to get rid of the mosquitoes. I barely remember the book, but all I can say is that Charlotte is the spider. She's cool. She makes images and writes with her webs and then dies from giving birth to her children. Oh, well, that escalated quickly. I was not expecting that. Okay, cool. Not cool. Safe to say I cried. Ah, I've heard that. It's a myth. What's a myth? Oh, the spiders in the mouth thing. It probably is. It probably is. I can imagine spiders that, well, I mean, you found one in your tapping on your nose. I'm sure that they probably tried to venture up our noses too. I've got woken up by one running across my hand. I did not sleep. Ugh, yeah. I I have hair on my arms, as many people do, and sometimes I'm laying in bed and I'll feel like a hair move, and I'm convinced it's a mosquito on my arm. So I'm forever like slapping myself in my sleep. I've even slapped myself around the face once because I thought like one was on my cheek. Have you ever been like had a mosquito bite on your eye? Once in the garden, I had a wolf spider. That sounds cool. On the back of my leg, dang near had heart failure. I was going to buy a hazmat suit to go back into the garden. A wolf spider sounds cool. I bet it's not cool though, because I know in the US, I know in like countries like the US, uh Australia and New Zealand, and probably other places in Asia too, but those three I know have like serious wildlife, serious spiders. That's yeah. That's why I say you guys probably would have laughed if I did put it on camera and say, "Look how big that is," because you wouldn't have thought it was big at all. I nearly ate my dog in my sleep. What? Nah, just kidding. I don't have a dog. Okay, okay. I have a dog. He always lays by my side when I sleep. It's really nice. He never used to. He used to have a den, and I'd put him in his den at the end of the night. And then one day he just like his whole character changed for some reason, and he was really good, and he just laid down by my bed and he didn't bother me. So now he sleeps beside me every night, and it's really nice. And he's the first uh hello I get in the morning with a oh hello and maybe a kiss on the face. Maybe I let him kiss me on the face, but yeah, I love that dog. Moths are just nighttime butterflies. Moths are silly goofy. I don't mind moths at all. They're, if anything, they're a bit annoying because they'll just like keep flying into the TV screen or flying into the light, and they're noisy as well. Like whatever they're flying into makes a noise. Like they proper go into it. Crazy. I'd die, Nikki, if one is in my room. The light doesn't go off till it's evicted. Oh, what moths? You don't like moths? Yeah, because you ate it. Oh, you don't have a dog? Yeah, because you ate it. Oh shoot, you're probably right. You guys are crazy. You are never more than scientists estimate we're never more than 3 feet from a spider. That's because some are microscopic and actually live right on you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'd probably freak out if we actually were aware of what is on us and eating us. Things do eat us, guys. It's just on a very microscopic level. Aren't wolf spiders? But that's a good thing. Don't get freaked out. It's a good thing. It's what keeps us healthy. I saw something about this. The bacteria that lives on us and sort of is eating away at us is actually a good thing. It's what keeps us resilient and strong and stuff like that. So don't worry, guys. Trust me on this. Trust me, bro. Aren't wolf spiders venomous even to humans and dangerous? Probably with a name like that, I would imagine so. If it was like if it was like pretty pink spider or something, it would be okay. But wolf spider doesn't sound good. Right, off to Mars then. I'm okay if they're small still, but getting up in my bed with me? Nope. I don't mind moths. Except when I get like clothes out and there's one living in my wardrobe for the past 3 months or something, and my clothes have holes in them. Oh, crane flies, they're annoying as hell. at the beginning of the week. I almost died. We're gonna have to put a chat book out, guys, of bugs. The bugs that scare us or something. I will unashamedly scream in public if I'm near one of those. Oh, what, a crane fly? I love me a daddy longlegs. My daughter hates them. We got a fishing net for her to evict them. Tardigrades, water bears? I'm not sure what they are. Tardigrades slash water bears? I'm not sure what they are. Oh, microscopic bugs. Moths only have the one attack. I love that we're a poetry. I love that we're a poetry channel, but we just end up on the most random tangents. Water bear is a sweet name. Yeah, I like that. Water bear. See, that's got a different vibe to it, a different tone to it than wolf spider. Oh, the worst. Dimitri, what? I'm sure we can all agree that cockroaches suck. Oh, the worst. Do we have cockroaches in the UK? If we do, I don't think I've ever seen them. The only time I've ever seen a live cockroach was when I went to New York for the first time during college, and we stayed at the what are they called? YMCA. We stayed at the YMCA just off of Central Park, and I remember going to the shower room, and there was just like 3 or 4 cockroaches, like just chilling. But because I'm from the UK, I never really knew what was the big issue. I just saw them as like spiders, so I didn't pay any attention. I didn't. It was a funny day actually because I didn't have the shower because of the cockroaches, but also I didn't pick up my room key, and it was one of these self-locking doors where to get in you need to like scan your room card. And essentially, I was just standing naked in a towel in the hallway for, I think it was for about 2 hours, because my best friend Jordan had gone to the gym and I had gone to the shower, didn't pick up my room card, and I wasn't about to walk through the YMCA in just a towel. So I just chilled in the hallway for a while, for about 2 hours. It was fun. That's the only time I've ever seen a cockroach. I only ever hear about them being in hospitals, unfortunately. Interesting. I didn't think we had them. I actually have a very rough draft I'm working on about mosquitoes. Interestingly, it's kind of triggering, but it's one of the only things I have written this month. Yeah, mosquitoes trigger me in the sense the idea of them having like being inside my body. They put their noses inside my body. I don't like it. Don't like it. I only ever hear about them. Yeah, Sam. No, same. Same Iron Girl. No, thank you. Nikki, my mum used to evict them and now Mitch removes them. Stag beetles are the worst. I don't think I've come across a stag beetle either. Aren't cockroaches an issue because they're a sign of poor hygiene, as in rotting food? That isn't good. Yeah, I honestly don't know what they mean. I thought they were just like another version of a spider or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what cockroaches are. I don't. As I say, I've only ever come across them that once. But yeah, I know they're not looked on upon fondly. I know people don't go, "Oh, look, a cockroach," or maybe they do. I don't know. What rhymes with spider? Uh, what rhymes with spider? A fiver. We call £5 like if you're asking for £5, we'd say, "Can I have a fiver? Can I have a fiver?" It's triggering for other reasons. It's about deliberately feeding mosquitoes because I messed up. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Wider, insider, ask him. Oh, that's Jack's surname. I was like, ask him? I don't think that rhymes. Hey, that's poetry. You can buy cockroaches as pets in reptile stores. You can. Can't you get like really exotic cockroaches that are like the size of your palm? I know in Florida, America, they have flying cockroaches, even in the most fancy elite homes. Gross. Flying cockroaches? Well, I think they're fancy ones, not the chavvy, rough ones. Tighter? Rhyming things is poetry. I think so. I think I like to rhyme. I like to rhyme. I enjoy a good rhyme scheme. Oh, they do? Again, I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. Don't cockroaches naturally fly? I'm not sure. Not sure. If only this one spider knew the conversation that it had sparked. It's famous now. So, yes, let's get back to poetry. We are a poetry channel. I don't know, I don't know how we're gonna get things back round to poetry, but let's try. Let's try. For the love of all that is good and decent, don't give them wings. I love bugs. That's good. That's good, class. I'm glad. I haven't seen I haven't seen a ladybird in a long time. Silence, yeah. A chat room full of poets, and we can't get round to talking about poetry. That's great. Wolf spiders remind me of a tarantula. Big. Oh God. Ironically enough, one spider caused a whole conversation about insects. Yeah. None of them have flown. This is called the butterfly effect. Hey, very good. I see what you did there. I ordered the Forward Book of Poetry 2025. I think that I th I could have sworn that was supposed to arrive today, actually. Let's go to my orders. Track and manage your orders. Arriving tomorrow. Okay. The Forward Book of Poetry 2025 is coming tomorrow. Remember when poisonous black ladybirds went viral a few years ago? No, I can't say I do remember that actually. I'm sure it did, but I don't remember that. I didn't know we had anything poisonous in this country actually. I hate other than uh foliage. I hate spiders. I can kill the little ones, but the big ones make me move. Yeah, the big ones made me, that big one made me move too. I don't kill them. Again, I like psychologically rewired my brain to be able to handle them. So I don't kill them, but they do make me move. They do make me flinch. You once cried for 2 hours trying to kill a massive spider on my curtain. Oh no. Again, the only thing I can't say anything because mosquitoes, my fear for mosquitoes are so like I can't help but like kill them. But I think that's a survival thing, right? Because of malaria and stuff. For your house plants, what do they do for your house plants? Like genuine question, could you say mainly for my house plants? Do they have some sort of benefit to house plants? I gave up with the poetry thing. Yeah. I guess we don't have anything poetry related for tonight. One could argue we are talking about poetry right now. The circle of life. The circle of life is poetry. But I am intrigued about the houseplant thing. Excuse me, sorry. There is a spider that kills cockroaches. We are talking about poetry right now. Technically, the itsy bitsy spider rhyme could be classed as a poem. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. I think, maybe. Don't know the rest. Sorry, guys. Could work on a limerick about this for the open mic, Adam. Yeah? You want to cheat? I'll tell you what the theme is beforehand. That's cheating. But yeah, maybe a spider or something. Actually, while we were live, someone bought a space. I need to make sure I remember to update the website with that because they bought it on Eventbrite. Ooh, nose is itching. Anyway, that can come late. We can look at that later. We have 17 people watching and only 13 likes. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Hi, Wendy. I've missed somebody jumping in. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. I didn't see you drop in. It must be a spooky themed at least. Yeah, it will be. In fact, having spiders around can help control populations of common plant pests like aphids, flies, and caterpillars. Oh, I like caterpillars. She is shy. Hello, Wendy. Sorry. Speaking of spooky, anyone excited for Halloween? Yes, me. I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite time of year. Halloween is my Christmas. We got to get the shed decorated. I'll have to figure out what we can do because the 1st of October is Tuesday, I believe. Is it? I'm sure it is because yeah, Tuesday. So Tuesday we gotta decorate everything. I don't know. I mean, I've already got a skull, but he's like a mainstay feature at this point. Well, I bought him to be a mainstay feature. We do have Shakespeare's skull, but we'll need to get some other stuff. This is the first year that I'm not running the local community Halloween party. I actually get to spook up my house. Hell yeah. Let's go. I love spooky decorations. In fact, I'm gonna have to start filling my Amazon basket. I need to get a costume for my open mic. For those of you who don't know, I run an open mic the second Tuesday of every month. And the next one is fancy dress encouraged. And so I need to make sure that I have a costume. I did have a costume in mind. In fact, I'll show you because this might still be in my basket. No, it's not. Oh, it's there because it's there. I wanted to get this Elizabethan outfit, but it's £134, £135 on Amazon. So I don't think I can warrant. I don't think I can justify that. But I do need to get something. You could have loads of spiders in. Here we go. Spiders and springs on the ceiling, bunting up and down. Yes. You mean decorative spiders or real spiders? I used to do a party for my daughter's school friends, so the house used to be proper spooky, but it's been years. Nice. Nice. I really want to go all out this year. Halloween is my favorite time, and I really want to go all out this year. Like, what kind of costume? God, I got a little tickle in my throat tonight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For some reason, this always happens whenever I get ill. Like the runny nose, the sore throat, it will all pass as it has done. If you remember last week, I was quite ill. It's all passed, but then I get left with this cough for about 3 or 4 months every time. It's so annoying. I don't know why my body can't shift coughs. Like what kind of costume? Oh, did you not see it? Oh wait, no, that was to someone else. I am Gov. Oh, cool. What are you thinking? What did I am Gov say? Kind of. I've yet to dress up for a Halloween, and I kind of want this to be the first year for me. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, wicked. I'm thinking we should find some Halloween adjacent event and drag Adam to it. I don't want to spoil anything in case it doesn't happen. That'll be the spider. Yeah, maybe I've got a spider in my throat. Laying its eggs. Maybe the spider shot eggs in. This is weird. This is like some sort of sci-fi movie, the beginning of a sci-fi movie. Yeah, I need to find a costume. I'd love to stick with the Elizabethan Tudor theme, but and this would have been amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. This would have been amazing. Like, it comes with an Elizabethan cape. I've been saying for so long that I want to bring capes back. Um, it just would have been so good, but I can't warrant £135. And the sort of fancy dress versions kind of suck. Although I think there was a Shakespeare fancy dress. Maybe I'll just bite the bullet and be a crappy Shakespeare. Shakespeare from Timu, as they say. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, guys, I think I'll leave the stream there. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Delgel, for being an Elton John Gary girl. For 3 years, you've been a member. That's insane. I appreciate it so much. Make your own cape. I wish I knew how to do that. In the 90s, when I was a kid, Halloween, every costume in the 90s for a kid would be a black bin bag. Whether you was a witch, a vampire, you'd just put a black bin bag over your head. Um, so maybe I'll just do that and throw in some fangs. I do have some fangs, actually. So maybe I'll just be a vampire. Uh, if I can even find the fangs. Sorry, I'm just looking for something right now because I just want to make sure I get it right. Because we do have a new channel member, Diane. I just want to make sure I got the name right. Thank you so much, Diane, for becoming a channel member. It says you became a channel member 13 days ago, so I apologize that I didn't shout you out at the last one, but I have added your name down below and I have now shouted you out. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super busy at the moment. If you're following my Instagram, Adam Gary Poetry, you'll know I'm super busy with the Laureate ship and everything. It's crazy. So I apologize that I haven't put a regular video out, but I will always do these live streams because again, I'm so busy, I'm so drained. If you get to the channel on a Sunday and I haven't set up the stream, don't worry, I am going to still be streaming unless I put a post out to say there won't be a stream or, something terrible has happened to me. There will always be a stream on Sunday at the very least, and I will do my best to get round to Tuesdays as quickly as I can. Members, I will always do your stream on a Thursday or a Friday. Conversing will always be on a Sunday unless I post otherwise. Um, but yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for keeping me company for the past hour and a half. I hope you're all well, and I'll see you next week. Happy writing, guys.